Hello everyone, this is David Graham in here with Justin Price, head football coach at Campbell County High School, coming to you from Papa John's Pizza, the best pizza anywhere. Now Coach, you had a busy summer this year, busier than last year.
Yeah, we always got so much going on in the off season, with the number one focus being trying to develop our football players so we had the best team possible. But we've done a lot of other things this year, a lot of improvements to our facilities and some things like that. We've got a lot more players out, so anytime you get more players out, you always a lot more things on your table.
Oh yeah. Now, a lot of the fans asked me, said, well, why do they play them 7-on-7s? You played a lot of 7-on-7s this year. What are you guys trying to learn, or what are you trying to achieve playing with 7-on-7s?
Well, for our style of offense, we run the air raid offense. We like to throw the football around a lot. We feel like it gives us opportunities to maximize what we do well. And so anytime we go out there and our quarterback and receivers can get reps and understand the timing part of it. And it's still not real football, but it's still, the X's and O's are the same. The zones are still the same. The schemes are still the same. And then the more reps we get, the better we become.
So now, for a team that's maybe runs a lot, going to run a lot during the year, 7-on-7 is not going to help them as much as it's going to help you guys.
Exactly. I think some teams they do it mainly for the defensive side. It's just and some people do it for conditioning. Every coach has a different purpose.
So they can look at it.
Exactly. So we try to do it for several reasons. One, I think it makes a better football team. Two, I think it's conditioning. And three, it's a chance for our guys to go out and compete a little bit.
Okay. Now, Coach, I was thinking the other day, a few years ago in our scrimmages, we would scrimmage teams that we could beat. But I noticed you scrimmage teams that normally you wouldn't think you could beat, but you're scrimmaging the higher echelon teams, and they're giving you guys respect. They're coming at you.
Yeah, that's one thing. The purpose of all our scrimmages this year were, we started out with Webb and Kingston, and they all somehow, every team that we scrimmaged fit somebody we played in the regular season. Think about Webb and Grace. We played both of them, and I think both of them were predicted to win the state championship in their respective divisions. They're very efficient in what they do. They're very disciplined football team, and a lot of those private schools are. Kingston traditionally is very physical and very tough, and that we wanted to see that. Again, with Austin East, their team speed is faster than anybody we see all year. So. And then the Jamboree with South Louisville, same thing, he has some speed. So it's everything that we do now is for a purpose, and it's tried to be that since day one. But all those teams presented different problems for us, and they all showed us some weaknesses that we have to get fixed. Some of them we fixed, some of them we're still working on.
But I noticed though, years before they would just kind of chuckle while we're scrimmaging Campbell County. Doesn't mean that much. But these teams have they've really been bringing it. Is that kind of a respect for the Campbell County program, football program?
Yes, I think it is. The respect's so important, and
they know what's coming.
Exactly, and I think our the product we put on the field over the last couple of years has improved tremendously.
Yeah.
And it allows for these other teams to understand that when they play us, we're going to give them a good look, and we're also going to be it's going to be a competitive atmosphere, and we're going to play physically. We're going to be tough, and so I think it just shows the support we've gotten from so many people, and it shows the amount of time and effort our players have invested over the past 2.5 years.
Now, all summer long, you've been screaming for depth. You've been working on depth for your football team. Have you reached it? Where have you reached it at?
We're fortunate. We have a lot of depth up front on both sides of the ball, and the offensive and defensive linemen. So we're excited about several guys that we can put in there. We were fairly thin at receiver to start out with, but we've had a couple of guys, Tommy Lawson, Tyler Loveday, Tyler Yates, some of those guys that have really stepped up over the last couple of weeks that'll provide Trey Torres, Boyd Phillips, and some of those guys that started for a couple of years some breaks if they need it.
Yeah. Of course, now you've got Ethan Jeffers, you've got he's a junior, and you've got Paul Portal at tailback. Now, who else besides those two do you think are really going to shine for the Cougars in tonight's game?
We're excited about Ethan and Paul. They've done it last year, and what they'll bring to the table. But Trey Torres is a guy that we're going to try to get the ball in several different ways. He's such a dynamic player.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
competitive. He's the most competitive player we have on our football team, and that mentality is contagious. And it's you start seeing other guys playing with that same mindset. Corey Phillips is a guy that started since his sophomore year. He's 6'4.5", 4'6", 40. And
Yeah, we've got him listed at 6'5", and like it
tall.
really matters.
Oh yeah, I think some people measure him 6'5", but he's such a dynamic player that he's going to cause a lot of mismatches.
Right.
And teams we hope will double team him, because if they don't, I think he can win any one-on-one battle out there. And we'll continue to use Nick Bailey on offense when needed.
Yeah.
You know, he's such an important part of our defense that we won't play him every snap on offense, but we can get him in the game, we will, and if we need him, we will. And I'm excited about Joseph Elkins and Preston Miller, two little speedy receivers and quick guys that add such a dynamic to our offense.
They get that line of scrimmage, they're gone if you don't tackle them.
Yeah.
Right. So now, turning our attention to tonight's foe, the Panthers are coming in the gap. What problems do you think they're going to present to you guys?
I think two things that stand out for me. Number one, I think, is the depth. Their offensive and defensive alignment are some big physical kids. And that's one thing we've watched them on film. Is that's what stands out the most. And then they have an athletic quarterback.
Right.
And anytime you have an athletic quarterback, it presents problems to a defense. And then I think
Can't contain it.
exactly. And I think the second big thing for us is they're going to come in with a little chip on their shoulder. They're a smaller school than we are. And on paper, you always think that the big schools should beat the smaller schools. And that's something I'm sure Coach Russell's using as motivation for them. I'm sure their kids are. But at the same time, we're out to prove every game, no matter who we play, that we belong where we are. And we're excited about what our kids are going to be motivated.
All righty, Coach, one more question. We got any injuries? Everybody's ready to go?
That's one thing, knock on wood, that this is the first time since I've been here 2.5 years that we're going to go in with our key, our core guys all healthy. Jeffers tweaked his ankle a little bit. He'll be 100%. But other than that, we've been very fortunate not to have some injuries like we did last year. Last year we had so many season-ending injuries early. Again, I think it just goes back to building a program. It takes a while to develop those players physically, and this football's such a demanding sport on their bodies that if they're not in the weight room 1 year, sometimes they don't do it. It's over a course of their career, 4 years, that they truly develop that strength and build up their muscles and tendons to protect themselves. So hopefully, we'll stay that way. But we got guys that even if people go down, we're confident that they can come and get the job done. But we're at full force this season to start it out, and we'll hope we'll stay like that.
But last year when Ethan Simpson went down, Paul Portal came out. And he had a big game out there.
Yes, and that's the thing is we got some kids this year that we feel like when their numbers called, that they'll rise to the occasion and do what's best for the team.
Well, Coach, good luck in tonight's game.
I appreciate it.
All righty, Cougar fans, you stay tuned. Cougar football is coming your way. For Coach Price, this is David Grimm saying so long from Papa John's Pizza here in La Follette.